About that, I was mentioning what we can do with batteries and stuff. In this case, this it may not be as strong as non-recycled batteries, but they'll do. They're made up of recycled batteries. But what happened when I found these kind of batteries, these AA batteries on Llama Island? You know, maybe they're listening to some kid was listening to a Walkman. They got frustrated that they were listening to some good music, and all of a sudden the music just goes dies out. So they throw these suckers into the dirt. So what happened is perhaps over the years, it was a pretty brand new battery too. What happens is all the chemicals start to leak out in a little, like acid, like Aliens, the movie. The acid drool, and then all of a sudden the mercury will go into there. I didn't want my pastor or the church to use the land to grow food because it was toxic. Grow flowers maybe, but the idea was to turn a old dung heap, you know, one of those trash heaps into a garden. But recycling really does will really cut your garbage output by three quarters. In fact, the only thing we don't recycle in this house yet. So I didn't get a chance to get recycling, but you know, the only thing you can recycle is that there's a chip bag. You can't recycle that. The only thing you can't recycle is foodstuffs, but you can compost them. So in this case, we'll look at what we can recycle in here. Because these tinfoil have been gunked up with chicken and other barbecue things, we cannot recycle them. But these green stuff here, if I had a compost going, we could recycle those. Carburetors were designed back in the 90s again to grind up old food and then flush it away into the sewer. But I think composting is better because you can actually make something, recycle something. In the 90s, they did come up with plastic wood. Some benches in city parks were able to have this. And the plastic wood is much superior, but much more expensive than these woods. These woods you can get for, you know, these boards, I found out that some of these boards you can get for 50 cents, or so that's a big incentive to use that. Sometimes it's, again, money. What costs is money, you know? Because these trees, ankle. These trees will take years and years to grow to this length, to this width, to make boards. And as you can see, this has been here since the 90s, and it's already been chewed up. We're gonna have to cut out the bottoms. These boards are okay, it's still alive, but this one's falling apart. So if this was plastic wood, no bugs would have been eating that. I'm not sure how much CO2. I think it's negligible, but everything goes a long way, right? These flowers actually came from a flower bed I planted in the early 90s when I was in high school, and I kind of spread over there. So I leave them. I know it's a small gesture, but I kind of leave them alone and let them do their thing. Hopefully, this will inspire the smell. Pollen inspires bees to come in. Sometimes the bees will go into there, go into here. And bees are very important to spreading the pollen. So whenever I see a bee there, whenever I'm watering the bushes, I have to be very careful not to inspire the bee to fly somewhere else. And you know, kind of leave these as a weird species. I don't know if the new owner of the house would appreciate that. He probably just flattened this out. But these are just some of the things you could do in your own home to make it more effectively. Because, you know, a house this size will probably cost millions of dollars in China, Hong Kong, India, Thailand, especially Thailand. This would be like a millionaire's house because it's got the space. So a lot of space takes up a lot of land. This area used to be a whole farm. And farming, you know, is very important to us if survival as a species. Otherwise, you end up like a zombie from Walking Dead movie or games, or you know, walk zombies. So we have to actually be very careful. Population growth is a good metric to say that society works. But also there's also a lot of complications to that. So we want to live as uncomplicated as possible. By opening up the window, perhaps having a few electric fans out, by opening up the window, you open up the source of air. for the house. Sort of like an aircon. You don't have to actually fire off your AC. When I lived in Hong Kong, I always kept on trying to clean out the every so often I always have to try and clean out the condenser guts, the condenser fans. Little pieces of metal that are around the condenser rods or coils. And what happened was, because I wanted to make sure that the is running efficiently. And another thing you can do to your every so often, maybe every year or so, just take a soapy rag, and wash the behind. Again, clean the condensers off there, just to make sure everything is running properly, so the machine's not having a heart attack. Make sure. This is one big thing in Hong Kong, is they always have PSAs about this, because these things always catch on fire. But in my Hong Kong apartment, there was a fan there on the surface, and it's really good because you just turn that fan on. You don't have to hit the AC on. And here we are living in Calgary. Our elevation makes it nice and cool. If you go camping or go into your cabin in the woods, it's more colder, so always wear a sweater, that kind of thing. But it's very comfortable. This is very cool weather. In Toronto, in Vancouver, not so much because it's much humidity. So I guess they turn on when it gets all hot and muggy. But you can always open up a window or two. So that's what you can do around. That's some of the basic things you can do around the house. Some of the basic things we do around the house. We recycle batteries. We recycle. We gotta be replacing these old light bulbs with those coils. The coils are very careful. You have to be very careful because those are toxic. So when they burst, they won't burst for a very long time. Treat them as batteries, as toxic roundup. Toxic roundup is a special kind of a program neighborhoods have every so often. The fire department collects the toxic waste for us, because they are trained in handling toxic materials as well. Toxic cleanups. So let's make some Jell-O pudding. I'm fat enough as is, but so like I said, we can recycle these brown bags. Not so if they're waxed. If they're waxed, if you feel that there's wax on it, then you cannot recycle that. It has to be pure paper, pure cardboard. Put the camera down here. Pure paper, pure cardboard. As you can tell, there's no wax on the inside. Oh shoot. Spoke too soon. Well, let's go upstairs. I'll find out if you can recycle wax paper or not. I'll put the camera down, turn it off, and then we'll see if we can recycle this.